side. Those who are catching us from actually sub-region, Uchonin, could their opinion on Martin, or Foyo, or Foyo Mamegu, or Foyo tuning WestNile Television. Right, those who are catching us live from Teso, Lao, Karamoja, and other parts of this country, we thank you and we do appreciate you. And if you're catching us live from Bunyoro sub-region, thank you very much for waking up together with WestNile Television, and not forgetting those within WestNile sub-region from the district of Pakwach up to Germany. Thank you very much for choosing WestNile Television this morning, and I know that you are preparing yourself to welcome the President of the Republic of Uganda, and I will continue to remind you that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will be in the region from 11th to 13th. On 11th in the afternoon by 3, he will be at Golf Ground meeting the leaders from West Nile districts that we do have. And also on 12th, he will be able to have a public rally where he will be able to address members of the public, general public, right there at Golf Ground here in Arua City. And on 13th, he will be able to proceed to that is Obongi, where he will be able to meet the people from the Madi sub-region in Obongi. And so it is beehives of activities for the leaders in this region. Unfortunately, the LC5 chairpersons, they are at Chamkwanzi. That is the leadership course right there. So they will be coming back on 8th. That will be Saturday. And so Sunday will be Easter Sunday, and then Monday will be Easter Monday, and some of them need to travel right here in Arua to wait for the President of the Republic of Uganda on 11th. And so you have to know that this week is a very, very busy week for our leaders and also those who will be having interface with the President of the Republic of Uganda. And for the Christians, it is a holy week, and today being Tuesday, tomorrow is going to be Wednesday, and starting Thursday, it will be a start of Triduum. So the 3 days to the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. And so Holy Thursday, then Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and then Easter Sunday. So it is only tomorrow that we shall be able to get done with other things that we are ever doing. So from Thursday, it will be a very busy week for the Christians. Meanwhile, for our brothers and sisters in the Muslim faith, they continue to fast. So you also have to know that today the IGG is in West Nile, and so we are expecting the Inspector General of Government, and that is none other than Betty Olive Kamia, who is expected to be in the region and to move to have meeting with district leaders here in West Nile, and more especially here in Arua. And then later on, they will be able to proceed to the field to have their hands on and also eye on some of the government programs and also the projects that have been implemented. And I know a case in point will be Dr. D project, how it has been implemented in some of the districts that are hosting refugees. And you have to know that a Dr. D project, it is a project that is being implemented through the Office of the Prime Minister, and it is funding that has been got from the IGAD, so Intergovernmental Agency for Development, right there. So he will be here, she will be here, in West Nile, and I think a day ago, some days back, I think he was in Germany, and so she was in Germany, and she is expected in Arua. And tomorrow there will be a public dialogue that will be at the former market ground next to the OPM Arua office right here. And so the members of the public have been urged to come for the dialogue. If you have any corruption issue that you want to present to the IGG, and tomorrow will be the platform that will be given to you. So if you have been seeing corruption scandals taking place in your district, you might be in Nebi, you might be in Zombo, you might be in Pakwach, make sure that you come to Arua and you will be able to present your case right there. So that will be the opportunity that will be given to the members of the public to raise issues to do with corruption taking place in their areas of residence or in the districts where they do come from. And so this is all in preparation for the coming of the President of the Republic of Uganda, because the IGG is also expected to deliver, some reports in terms of corruption fight in this region, what are some of the common cases of corruption that they do register from this region. And so that will also be presented by the IGG when the president comes to this region. And remember, this particular week, we shall be able to receive different ministers, and also executive directors of the government departments and agencies that we do have. And so it will be a busy week for those in the government, more especially those that their ministries are responsible for service delivery and has got attachment to the issues that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will be coming to address right here: wealth creation and shared prosperity. And I know that the Minister for Local Government will be expected in the region. We shall be able also to have a minister in charge of veteran affairs, also leading a delegation to come to West Nile. And remember, on 11th, that will be the time that you'll be able to listen to the people in charge of veterans in this country. And so if you know some of the veterans who have never received the money, and make sure that you mobilize them, they have to come in big numbers so that they're able to listen to those that are responsible for their pension and also in charge of veterans in this region. And so you have to know that West Nile as a region has greatest number of veterans for your information. And the good thing is that the minister in charge of veterans also hails from West Nile sub-region, who is none other than Honorable Minister Huda Uleru right there. So these are some of the issues that you need to know in ahead of the president's visit to the region. And don't forget that the minister in charge of energy, Honorable Ruth Nankabira, will also be among the ministers who will be coming to present papers concerning the issues to do with electricity in the region. So you should not really miss that particular moment, more especially the leaders who have been invited. And I know 9 million has been given to each district to facilitate the leaders to come to Arua to see that they are able to participate in this presidential tour in the region. So Arua City has been given 24 million for the for feeding and also facilitating those who will be coming on 12 for the public rally right there at a golf ground here in Arua City. So that is something that you need to do. And also issues to do with unfinished projects that are being implemented by the government of the Republic of Uganda. The Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, that is none other than Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, will be able to answer some of the issues concerning the unfinished projects that government of the Republic of Uganda is implementing in Westnile sub-region. So what you need to do is come out with a list of some of those projects that were started but they have not been completed. Maybe there are other projects that have been completed but they have become white elephants in our region. And so take stock of all of those projects and you should be able to raise your issues concerning those projects. And I know some of the projects right here in Arua City, and also there's one in Rhino Camp in Madiokolo, the Rhino Camp market that was constructed, and up to now it was not completed, and nobody is making good use of that particular market. Some of the lockups doors have turned to be rentals, and I do not know who are the people collecting money out of those rooms that were constructed majorly for the market vendors there in Rhino Camp sub-county in Madiokolo district. And we know of that is a Yube mango fruit factory right there. I do not know how many cubic liters of mango fruit juice that is being produced right there from the fruit factory that is in Yumbe. And also the value addition facility located here in Zambia, Awindri Ward, Arua Central Division, Arua City. It is now coming to 3 years that the facility has never been put into use. The concern has been that the facility requires, that energy that should be tapped from the national grid for it to run the machines that have been installed at the facility. So I do not know whether that is true, or the problem is with the Ministry of Local Government, more especially the commissioner in charge of markets that we do have in the country. And so more of that will be presented by the Ministry of Local Government in regards to their value addition facilities and some of the facilities that have been put up in West Nile by different ministries that we have in this country. And so members of the public are expected to, come out with a list of those finish projects that are here in Westnile sub-region, and don't forget to come out with the list of the roads that are in bad state. And the executive director of Uganda National Road Authority, Miss Ellen Kajina, who was in the region last week, she will also be here on 11th to answer some of the queries and put it right to the people in Westnile sub-region in as far as road connection is concerned. And so the Minister of Works and Transport, who is none other than General Katumba Wamala, will also accompany the Executive Director of Uganda National Road Authority. So as people of this region, Westnile, please, that will be the moment that some of the questions that we have been asking and have never been answered will be answered on that particular day. So make sure that you make it a date 11th, 12th here in Arua, and while for those in my sub-region in the district of Obongi, Moyo and Ajumani, I make sure that on 13th you should be able to gather at Obongi. In the past, when we were growing up, whenever a president is coming, we would try our level best to reach the ground where President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will be hosted. I can remember in 1998 when I was in Kitgum, and so President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was able to go to Kitgum for campaign. I can remember, and what we did was to foot from that was a Pajemo barracks up to Kitgum town. To see President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and it was a very, very nice moment. It's quite unfortunate that this time around, for you to see President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, you have to be facilitated. And government of the Republic of Uganda, through State House, spends a lot of money in transporting those who are supposed to listen to the President of the Republic of Uganda. Can we have that zeal to walk or to use our own means of transport and use our own money and to reach where the head of state will be addressing the public right there? So, and that is something that I'm giving us an alternative, so that we save some money. We should not be facilitated to see your own president. You have to facilitate yourself to see your own president and listen to your own president. And remember, when he comes and leaves, he will come back again. Maybe if something else happened that needs the attention of the president, then he will be able to come back. If not, we shall again see him in 2025 towards election of 2026. So this particular moment that the president is coming to the region, let us embrace. 3 days of the president being in the region, it's not something easy, and it's not something that just comes like that. So we are lucky as people of this region, and the uniqueness of Westnile region will make President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to be in the region for 3 days, because he cannot only address members of the public once, because there are people from the other side of Ajumani, Moyo and Obongi, and so he will be able to go to Obongi to have the audience from the people of Obongi, Moyo and Ajumani. And so that is something I felt it is important this morning that I should also be able to remind you about, that President is expected in the region from 11th to 13th, and I believe that this time around it will not be changed like it happened in the month of March, because 2 times the coming of the President of the Republic of Uganda was changed. So this time around, I believe that that is the confirmed one, and he will not be having a fixed schedule right there. And so we are expecting him. And in regards to the coming of the President of the Republic of Uganda, leaders in Alur sub-region, the Greater Nebi, they are moving up and down, identifying farmers that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni can be able to go and see. And that is something that you need to know. So the RDC, Nebi, the RDC Zombo, the RDC Pakwach, they are on their toes, moving up and down to see that they are able to identify the farmers that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will be able to visit. And it's good that the process of identification started early, and I believe that some people will get benefit of doubt. And what is this benefit of doubt? Grading the road where this farm is located, and some people will enjoy a good road that will be graded for the President of the Republic of Uganda to drive to that particular farm. I have been told that one of the farmers is in Zeu, and I believe that the road should be okay, so that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is able to see the quality of road that we have in Greater Nebi. And if not, then yeah, we shall see the road being graded so that the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni can really have a nice ride on the road. And so those are some of the benefits that come when President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is coming to your area. And I know the people who are located in these areas where the farmers have been identified, you will be able to have that moment to see the President of the Republic of Uganda live, not hearing him on radio or maybe watching him on television. I know that some people who have never seen the President of the Republic of Uganda, they only hear about him from others. So maybe they always hear his voice on radio. And for those who have watched television, you have only watched him on television. So some of the farmers that will be identified, there will be a blessing to their community members in disguise because the head of state will be able to visit them. And so that is top of the list of the agenda for the coming of the President of the Republic of Uganda. So the leaders have been identified to have been told to identify, farmers that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will be able to visit. And the Honorable Minister for Defense and in charge of Veteran Affairs, Huda Lero, did caution the leaders in West Nile not to select the same farmers that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni visited some times back. And so they should really get new farmers who are implementing what the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni always talk about, the 4-acre model, where you have maybe fishing taking place, fish farming, and then you have maybe crop husbandry, you have animal husbandry also taking place. So these are the things that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni want to see. How are you implementing the 4-acre model in your area, and what benefits are you getting from that kind of farming? And so that will be the interactions that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will be able to have with the farmers before having the public rally on Sunday, on 12th, and then also meeting the leaders in the afternoon on 11th. So meaning in the morning you will be able to visit some of the farms that might be in Alur sub-region, and then on 12 in the morning you will be able to visit some of the farms that will be in the Greater Arua area. So it is up to the leaders in Arua to identify those farmers. I do not know whether we have one in Arua City or two in Arua City that can be visited by the President of the Republic of Uganda. That one we leave it to the resident city commissioner and the office of the mayor and other leaders who are here in Arua City. All right, dear viewer, you have to know that it is 18 minutes to the top of the hour, over 8 a.m. right here on WestNile Television. Let's get to some of the local stories that we have for you this morning from Westnile sub-region. You have to know that the leaders in Koboko district are demanding for government of the Republic of Uganda to increase the quarterly release for the construction of the Koboko General Hospital right there in Koboko. And so the leaders are saying that the 500 million that is being released on a quarterly basis is not enough to see that the hospital is constructed within the 4 years as the scope of the project tells them. Let's have more from Emmanuel Agele as he reports on this particular story. Good morning.
In 2019, the construction of Koboko General Hospital started with funding from the government of the Republic of Uganda. The 5-year project that is expected to cost 6.5 billion shillings is to be completed by 2024. However, leaders have expressed concerns saying receiving 500 million shillings every quarter may not allow them to hit the target of finishing the hospital by 2024, of which they have requested the government to increase funding so as to reduce the pressure due to the big number of people accessing the current health care facility.
We have outpatient department which is funded by Minister of Health transitional grant. Madam, you had my landlord crying before you that the structure lying before us is incomplete. We want to thank the Ministry of Health under the able leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for considering and ensuring that every financial year we have some funds that comes to the district to make sure that we complete our facility. Our estimate bill of cost for this facility is 6.6 billion. if you want to make this facility, the structure of OPD complete. But Madam Guest of Honor, your office and your able leadership be able to give us 2.2 billion. And that's why this structure you see here stands as 2.2 billion. It's my prayer that we have a complete transition from the current facility here. And it is on this that we really want kneel before you, through our partners, UNHCR, and you, the ministry, to ensure that we have funding that we're able to complete this. I'll be grateful by the time we are coming for 2026. Madam Guest of Honor, you will come and grace this occasion again. And I know through you, you'll be able to make, through the members of parliament. It will take us 8 years for us to finish the OPD. With the funding that comes every year, 500. It will take us 8 years to complete. So it means next election will get us when we have not what? Completed. But that is the situation. I know through your able leadership, you'll be able to have us considered in this.
Second priority should be completion of this OPD, outpatients department, where the sick, the ailing can be received and helped quickly. Chairman District 5, my good friend Mambo, let us not scatter our resources all over the place. Let us focus on this and the theatre. That is my plea.
The Parliamentary Health Committee Chairman, who also doubles as the Member of Parliament for Koboko Municipality, Dr. Charles Ayume, has assured the members of public that the hospital shall be functional before 2026 despite inadequate funding.
Resources are very scarce. There are about 135 districts. 60 districts don't have hospitals. So when you see these structures coming up, you count yourselves as among the lucky. You're very lucky, the people of Koboko. Very lucky as the people of Koboko to have these facilities coming. Bado sisi iko mata pole pole. Lakini tutafika, usijali, we shall get there. Government every year we are giving 500 million. 500 million. That's why it is going slowly. But we shall finish. And I pledge we shall finish this OPD before 2026.
Koboko district is one of the refugee hosting districts in Westnile Region, and the healthcare services rendered in the district caters for both the refugees from South Sudan and Democratic Republic of Congo and the citizens, which could be one of the reasons the leaders are calling upon for the expected 6.5 billion shillings hospital project to be finalized. Emmanuel Agele, WestNile TV Nilecast.
All right, well back. You're still watching WestNile Television. My name is Denis Oringi, and this is Kokoliriko. It's a show that comes your way every Monday through Friday. If you have just tuned in, you are watching WestNile Television. All right, dear viewer, more we have for you this morning is that as Uganda forces boast of taking over, that is the eastern part of Democratic Republic of Congo, as the M23 rebels, give up. You have to know that South Sudan has decided to send in a troop to go and also participate in bringing sanity and peace in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. So the government of South Sudan decided to also get involved in the pacification of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo after the troops from other East African countries also join in to see that they get rid of what is disturbing the people of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. And they saw these South Sudanese soldiers landed there in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, and they are part of those that are in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo to bring peace right there. Let's have more in this story compiled by Joseph Jurwa.
A group of at least 45 soldiers from South Sudan have joined a regional military force in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, a region racked by the M23 rebels. The seven-nation East African Community military force that was created in June last year to oversee the withdrawal of M23 fighters in eastern DRC. Much of the region is plagued by dozens of armed groups, a legacy of the regional wars that flared in the 1990s and 2000s. Since re-emerging from the dormancy in late 2021, M23 rebels have captured swaths of territory in North Kivu province and advanced within several dozen kilometers of its capital, Goma. Several regional initiatives intended to diffuse the conflict, such as ceasefires, have failed to materialize. March 30th, 2023 was supposed to mark the end of the withdrawal of all armed groups, according to a timetable adopted in mid-February by the East African Community. Joseph Chura, WestNile TV, Nile.
All right, we believe that with the troop from that is the South Sudan joining other troops that are pacifying the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, sanity will be brought to Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo right there. So we continue to pray for them right there as they continue to bring peace to the people who are in the North Kivu of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo right there. And so, dear viewer, let's go for a break. 10 minutes to 8 a.m. right on WestNile Television. When we come back, we shall be able to give you more that we have prepared for you this morning.
WestNile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on StarTimes this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Mercula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with StarTimes. StarTimes is regulated by UCC.
WestNile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, I will be back. You're still watching WestNile Television, 7 minutes to 8 a.m. right on WestNile Television. All right, dear viewer, don't forget that in our opinion poll this morning, those who are following us live from YouTube, you can drop your comments. We are asking that the Tangir River continues to burst its bank, causing flooding, affecting the transportation for the people who leave West Nile to go to the other side of the country, and those are from the other side of the country coming into West Nile. It is, it's not the first time that we are seeing this taking place, happening and affecting transportation of the people. Over the weekend, the river burst its bank and flooded through the usual path that the water always breaks to see that it joins the main river, that is the Albert Nile right there. That is after passing Pakwach Bridge if you are from West Nile and before getting to Pakwach Bridge. So we are asking you this morning, what could be the lasting solution to that kind of problem that always affects the people? We had engineers working with Uganda National Road Authority, coming on board to see what they can really do to solve the problem. But their work is not being appreciated by the floods. So the floods continue to affect the same area. And so we are asking you this morning, what should be the lasting solution to that problem? And so I know you might not be an engineer, but you can give a suggestion that can also help a lot, because other people have also given in their suggestion. Those engineers, they tried their best, but we see the same problem taking place. Should the bridge be extended and lifted high, or that spot has to be put with a box culvert where the water will be able to flow down without any problem? Because it seems that the culverts that are placed down, they have become very small, that the amount of water that comes and passes through, it is now too much, and so the water has to get its own way, and the water ends up flooding the area, affecting transportation. And you all know that for you to use the new bridge, you have to pay some money, and so they only allow private vehicles, not public vehicles that carry passengers to use that road. Now, even if they allow the passengers, the vehicles that carry passengers to use that bridge, there will be tax. So each person will be required to pay around 20,000. So if you are using a bus, calculate the amount of money that people will be able to pay to the government of the Republic of Uganda. So the Western leaders, they were able to have a conversation, and that since that road is always affected, why can't the government allow the people to use that road without pay? Because even other areas like Queen Elizabeth, when you are driving through the park, you don't pay the amount of money. And so the leaders were questioning, why is it the people who come to this region, they are subjected to pay money, or who leave this region and go the other side, when they're using the alternative route at Para, they are being told to pay some money. Yet in other regions, people are not paying money as a toll fee, like it is with the Entebbe Express, Express Highway there. And so the conversation is still going on, but that cannot be the lasting solution to the problems that always affect the people from this region, because there are others who would love to go to Gulo. You cannot go via Masindi and then you have to go up to Shiguma, then you drive to Gulu. Yet the road that can take you to Gulu later, and that is the spot. And what can be done to improve that particular area? And so that is something that we ask you to give in your opinion. You can text, and also we shall be able to sample your opinion right there. So make sure that you participate in that particular opinion poll that we have dropped for you. Those who are catching us live from YouTube, we thank you, we do appreciate you, and you're watching WestNile Television. drop your comments right there. We shall be able to sample your comments as well, and your opinion will be taken seriously, and it will not be for granted. We shall be able to see how we can also inform the decision makers that we do have in this country, and also inform the leaders, so that in their discussion, when they are having a discussion, they can also use the knowledge and the ideas that you have been able to present to them right there. All right, dear viewer, away from that, you have to know that the issues to do with that is the irrigation scheme in Westnile, constructed by Ministry of Agriculture. I have to tell you that there are some farmers who are benefiting from this particular irrigation scheme that is in Westnile. So if you have never been to Westnile, Pakwach district, please take your time and you go and see how people are making good use of the irrigation scheme that the government of the Republic of Uganda, through the funding that was given from the World Bank, that is African Development Bank, I think, that is really helping the people of Westnile, more especially those in Ragem sub-county in Pakwach district. So if you have never seen how irrigation works, take time and go right there. We always take our students out of the Westnile sub-region to go and see is it a Kibuku irrigation scheme, but this time around for the school owners, the directors of schools, the teachers of school and teachers, make sure that you can as well take your students or pupils to go and learn what irrigation is about. And this is one of the hidden treasures that we have in Westnile, and it is not being talked about, and people seems to care less about this irrigation scheme. But for your information, if you are to go and see how the irrigation scheme works, the Oringi River that always flood through the irrigation scheme, they were able to divert some of the water to support in irrigation. And so, and the people who are making good use of the irrigation scheme, for them, you know what they do? They don't feel the dry season that we always feel during dry season. For them, they're busy in their farm, planting greens, planting all sorts of crops that they want to plant, because there's enough water that they get from River Ora. And this is going to really promote what we call agricultural activities in Pakwach district. And I think the Pakwach district local government should really, put more efforts in seeing that the irrigation scheme benefits many farmers in the region. And I believe that the irrigation will also benefit, that is Ojigu government prison right there. The prison is known for growing cotton, and each and every year they produce good tons of cotton that is exported, for your information. And so the irrigation that is still being constructed will be able to facilitate agricultural activities in Pakwach district. So the people, the neighboring sub-counties of that is Pawar, the neighboring sub-county of Westnile itself, talking about the sub-county of Kuchwin, and Aloi as well, you will be able to benefit from that irrigation scheme. So let us make good use of that irrigation scheme, and we take advantage of the irrigation scheme. I think that is the first of its kind that we have in Westnile sub-region. So we call upon all the Westnile leaders to embrace and promote that irrigation scheme that has been put up by government of the Republic of Uganda in Pakwach district, to see that the agriculture is promoted. So if possible, even if President Yoweri Museveni can even be taken to see how the farmers in Ragem sub-county in Pakwach district are making good use of that particular irrigation scheme, it will be a very good one. And President Yoweri Museveni in 2019 was here in Westnile, more especially here in Arua, and he was talking about commercialized agriculture. So commercialized agriculture, you cannot implement it if you leave out the aspect of irrigation. So for you to succeed, make sure that you embrace the irrigation scheme. And so the bottle irrigation that the President of the Republic of Uganda also launched some years back, I think for some farmers, they are really benefiting from that bottle irrigation. There is a presidential demonstration farm that we have here in Arua city at Giligili, and I do not know how the farm is doing now. Somebody was telling me that the leaders might take the president to go and see his own farm at Giligili, and so that is the only farm that Arua City can rely on when it comes to identifying a farm that the president can really visit. So the presidential farm is at Giligili, so farmers can also take time to go and learn from that particular farm right there. So that is in regards to farming in Westnile sub-region. Irrigation scheme is already here in the region. So the people of Pakwach, you can embrace that. And also the people of Nebi, you can go and learn something from the irrigation scheme. We have abundant water from the different rivers that we do have, but sometimes we do not make good use of the rivers that we have in this region. And when we talk about the issue of river, it also brings me to the aspect of protecting the water sources that we do have. If we are to go to different rivers that we do have in the region, let me tell you, the catchment areas have been destroyed. The big trees that used to keep this water fresh, the trees have been destroyed, and we care less. And let me tell you something here. The people who destroyed these trees are the people who went to school, who know the importance of trees, because our forefathers who never went to school, they were able to preserve some of the trees that were along these rivers that we do have. But trust me, go to some of the rivers that we know in our areas, in our community, see whether those trees are there. The trees are no longer there. For those who are in Yaravur, in Angal, after passing Yaravur Trading Center, as you head to Angal, there are two rivers there, and see what is happening to those streams. All right? The trees that used to be there, the big trees that used to cover the water, making it fresh, the trees are no longer there, you see. And after Angal, then there's that river that divides, that is Pamora and Angal. And then before reaching Parombo, before reaching Padel, there's that river, and there used to be big trees that could really give support to the flowing water. And the trees are no longer there. And nowadays, as we do talk, once it rains, the water flows once, because there is no way that this water can really keep seeping around. And so that is the destruction that we are causing to our environment. Go to Alui area, you see what is happening right there. We do not have those swamps that used to exist, more especially when it's a rainy season like this, where we used to hear the cry of the frogs. Nowadays it's very hard for you to get the sound being produced by the frogs in the swamps that we do have. What has happened to these swamps? And we continue to ask, please, 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 can we continue to protect our environment? The environment needs us. The money that you have is not worth the environment, because the environment that God has given us, He knows the purpose of giving us those trees, and also the good streams that we have in our neighborhood is to provide for us fresh water. But what have we done to these streams and the trees? We have cut them down, and it is making it very hard even for some community even to have water flowing. We used to bathe from the streams and also from the riverside, but can we now go and bathe there? There's no water, and you cannot bathe because the water is not even fresh. You understand? So the aspect of environment is something that I should really bring to your attention this morning. Come to Arua here, Barifa Forest. What has happened to Barifa Forest? The green belt that you see around the tarmac roads does not tell you, that the trees are there. Let me tell you, go deep inside there and you see the trees have been cut all down. And so in the middle, Barifa is just an empty space without trees. If the trees are there, they are this short one. For don't be deceived by the green area that you see around Arua Hill, but inside there are no trees. And I have been told that the people who have taken over Barifa, they just cut the trees at will. And what is happening with NFA? What are they doing? And so we have to task those responsible officers to explain to the members of the public, why are they allowing people to cut the trees that were planted to really provide fresh air to the people that we have here in the city. And so if they do not want the forest, why continue to deceive people that the forest is helping us? How? It's only helping some few individuals because they're able to cut trees and use the trees for their own benefit. And so when we talk about protection of the environment, please and please, I urge that we join hands together. And more especially those who went to school. Please, can we use the knowledge that we got to educate those who never went to school so that they get to understand if they are the one getting involved in cutting down these trees. Now, if it is found out that it is us who went to school that are behaving in that manner, trying to cut trees on large scale, that is quite unfortunate right there, because we all know the importance of having these trees, and we go ahead to cut them down. And in Ofaka, in Upper Madi, we have been told that the people who have money, the rich people, they go and rent, good kilometers of the area that has got trees, and then they cut the trees for charcoal. And they don't plant. After getting what they want, they just leave. They don't even plant any tree. And who are the people suffering? The local people, the Wananchi, the residents, the locals. And so, if we pretend that things are okay, let me tell you, years to come, we shall be considered to be area that is located in a semi-arid. Yet, as Western Sub-Region, we are not in that belt of semi-arid like Karamoja. We are located in a very, very, very nice belt when it comes to vegetation cover. And so, if we pretend to bury our heads in the sand, thinking that all is well, let me tell you, with your money, you will begin to buy oxygen, even the one that you need to breathe in. We know how we needed oxygen during COVID-19. And if you never had money and you suffered from COVID-19, may their souls rest in eternal peace, those who died because they could not get enough oxygen from the hospital. And that tells you the importance of keeping our environment safe and intact. It provides, and for those who were suffering from COVID-19 and they had a very nice environment, good trees, they were not able to seek for oxygen like some of us were looking for. And they were just sitting under their shades and they breathed the fresh air. And for us who could not, breathe the fresh air being provided by trees, we ended up going to the hospital to buy oxygen, to pay for oxygen. And that is how we lose in the fight. And so life is worth, and we cannot live alone. We have to depend on each other. Even trees depend on us. As human beings, we depend on trees. So that is the dynamics, that is the science, and that is the chemistry that is involved in life. So you might think that you have the money, and the money can provide for you the oxygen that you need. But let me tell you, that money will never give you the oxygen. You have to run and look for fresh air and fresh oxygen for you to survive. And that tells you that if you are educated and you have the money, you should really be able to make good use of the money that you do have. And that is what I have for you this morning in regards to keeping our environment and protecting our environment safe, intact. And if you do not know the importance of keeping the environment, go to those who are preserving and conserving the environment. They will be able to tell you the importance of having the trees in your surrounding. And so that is what I can really tell you this morning. Dear viewer, you have to know that the activities taking place in Arua in regards to the coming of the president, some of the roads that have never been worked on, I see some people now seriously pretending to do a lot of work, which is a good one. Let them continue to pretend, but when the president leaves, we shall still see the same mess that we always witness right here. And they're pretending to be collecting the garbage, and that is something that you need to know. And also the issues to do with the street vending. I have been told that the city authority want to get rid of the street vendors so that to portray to the president that Arua is a clean town and it is a very organized town. Unfortunately, the main market is not having power simply because the bill has accumulated, and I do not know whether they will be able to pay in time because the hospital generates a lot of money. And where is the money going? I think the city authority should really take charge of that. We cannot have a the city market being dark from morning up to sunset, and the vendors need to make money. And remember, when it is dark, it really exposes the vendors to robbers, people who will take advantage of the darkness at the main market, more especially where the fishmongers do sell their fish. It's always dark because where it is treated, there's no a provision for the natural light to really support and help those who are right there compared to those who are selling from the upper path of the market that is towards the main entrance, and those selling vegetables right there. So while for those who sell that is fish, they are a little bit hidden and it is dark for them always if there's no light. And so we urge the city authority to see that they really pay the electricity bill that Kokoliriko is demanding from them. So it's quite unfortunate, and it's a very big shame for the whole city to fail to pay electricity bill. Yet they always collect money from these market vendors. And so if it was in some towns and in some cities, let me tell you, the vendors will not tolerate this because they are paying the dues. There's no way that you can tell them that there's no money, and then where is the money going that they do collect from them as market dues. And so, dear viewer, 14 minutes past hour over 8 am right on WestNile Television. My name is Denis Oringi. We have come to the end of the show. Have the best of your morning. Good morning.
WestNile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Westnile TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family.
WestNile TV, lighting up the region.